What's going on? Welcome back. Been away for a while. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Schneid, episode 30 of the summer, which is pretty good, pretty decent. I think I did less last year, so and a bit of a 2-week hiatus. We got Steven Hines in here. Where you been? Hope the family's well. Family's well. I not exceptionally well. Had a little bit of a medical issue. Not a huge concern. Not a T's and P's, keep me in your prayers kind of a situation. Nothing like that. Just a little bit of a superficial blood clot in my leg is kind of what's going on, is what happened. So sitting for too long was a little bit difficult. It was a lot of pain, pretty excruciating stuff. It was bad for a couple weeks there, just as far as like movement wise and sitting, standing, doing all that kind of stuff. So, I had to kind of take a bit of a hiatus there from the streaming. So on some blood thinners right now, which is, whatever, typically wearing, compression stockings up to the waist for the most part, but waiting on surgery. So that'll all happen. It's not a huge deal. Had an ultrasound, so it's not a deep vein. It's not close to my deep vein. It's not life-threatening. There's no issue. Shouldn't be a big deal. But it was a little bit tough to stream for a little bit there for a couple of weeks. But we should be good down the stretch. The blood thinners are working. We're looking good. Things are improving. So I can stream again. So here we are. So that's kind of where I've been. What's been going on? Not a huge concern. No reason for thoughts and prayers. But try dissolve it all. Not sure what that is, but I could still have like a beer or two. Like I'm having one right now. So that's nice. Shit is next level for that. In our prayers. Appreciate you. What up? Good to see you back. Putt Daddy. Appreciate you. Jason Calhoun's in here. Jamie Robbins. Yeah, that's what happened. So a little bit of a hiatus, a little bit of an issue, but we should be all right. We're back now. We'll be back at it. Should be for the rest of the summer. I do have a golf tournament with buddies this weekend, so I'll be away. I'm going to stream tomorrow after Jeopardy. So I'm playing Candyman, Chris the Candyman, Fantasy Football Garage in the FanSpeak Jeopardy semifinals tomorrow, and then I'll stream after that. So we'll get 2 streams in. I'm away for the weekend, maybe Sunday night, if not Monday for sure. And then we're gonna get back at it, hit the ground running for the last week or so. There's not a lot of time left. We got Hulk smashed potatoes in here. Been on blood thinners for 30 years, hanging in there. Yeah, a buddy of mine has been on blood thinners since he was like 18, and he can drink like crazy. Like he you cannot keep up drinking with this guy. It's wild. And yeah, he's been on blood thinners for, I don't know, 20 plus years. So shouldn't be too big of a thing. I'm on 45 days, but appreciate you, Hulk Smash. What up, big dog? Hope all's well. Doing better, doing well. We're there. We're doing all right. We got Hartman in here. Appreciate you. Tell us your favorite clicks. We'll get there August 19th. That's where we're at. We're a week exactly, 7 days away from cut down day. So huge day, which is also why I really, really would be shocked if Brian Robinson Jr. gets traded. What could he get traded for? What would make any sense? Why would a team trade anything for anyone right now, unless it was someone, substantial? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. If they're going to cut him, just let them cut him in a week. Regardless, if you're a team and you're in the market for a running back or any position for that matter, there's about to be, what's the math on that? 40 times 32 roughly. So it's more like 37 times 32. There's about to be 1,184 technically free agents in a week. There's 90 players on the roster currently on all 32 teams. Maybe not quite. Maybe there's some guys that are a little light on that number. And they cut down to 53 in 7 days. So with all of that set to hit the market, why on earth would you trade anything for anything? It just doesn't make sense to me. Just let the Commanders cut them and then scoop them up for less money as well. It's $3 million. So it doesn't make a crazy amount of sense to trade for a $3 million player for 1 year 1 year left on his contract. We'll see what happens there, but I just don't particularly see it. So news and notes, like I've been away for 2 weeks now, at least almost 3 weeks, I think, or right around 3 weeks. So obviously a lot has happened, but today we got news on the Colts. So where are the rankings on the Colts quarterbacks? I'm not drafting either of these guys. I'm not drafting Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones, but when I did draft Colts quarterbacks, it was Daniel Jones for me. So he gets the win, but I'm very confident that we're going to see both. My exposures in here are the puppy 3, and I only have like 30 something teams. So the 2% is like one puppy 3. There you go. And I haven't drafted Daniel Jones. So that's what you see for exposures there. But yeah, so clarity there. That doesn't affect the quarterback position for me, but that does affect the wide receivers and the running backs for this team. For me, I'm going to go ahead and put Adonai Mitchell ahead of Alec Pierce. I know Daniel Jones doesn't throw a great deep ball realistically. So that's all you want or could get out of Alec Pierce. And let's look at these profiles. So Alec Pierce, right? 69 targets, 37 catches, 800 yards, massive, 7 touchdowns. So we're due to, like, just off the hop, just looking at the stat profile, it's like touchdown regression city, right? Even yards regression, like 37 catches, 69 targets, and 800 yards. So looking at that, let's keep that in mind, 69 targets, right? 69 targets for Alec Pierce. Adonai Mitchell, 55 targets in an exceptional amount of less playing time, right? Wide receiver 4, injury fill-in kind of a guy, right? He all like 14 less targets in a crazy amount of less playing time than Alec Pierce. So with Daniel Jones starting, give me Adonai Mitchell over Alec Pierce. I really like Tyler Warren. The running backs I really like. I have always liked the running backs. DJ Giddens is one of my most drafted players overall, period. And then Jonathan Taylor is a fine click in the second round. So that's the kind of big news that we got today. Russell Wilson is the starter. Obviously, we knew that was always going to happen. There still is potential that Jackson Dart comes in at some point in the season. Almost for sure, if we're being honest, just because of how tough the Giants' schedule is. So it's almost a given that we're going to see Jackson Dart at some point, unless on some crazy like alternate universe that the Giants are a playoff team. Then we're not going to see them until they're not a playoff team, essentially. So it's Russell Wilson's team until I would think they're technically eliminated, or they're 3-8 or whatever, 2-7, maybe something like that, and then they just turn it over to Jackson Dart. But we'll see how that goes. What else do we got? Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. That's something I wanted to talk about. That's something I want to talk about here. So 149. He's going a lot higher than that. Wow, I drafted him one time. Crazy. That's probably my only share. For me, if 10th round, and that's where I'm seeing him go in the last few days, if 10th round Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is what you need to win, I'm losing. I'm just going to lose. 7th round Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Yes, it sounds like Brian Robinson is not going to be a part of that team. That doesn't mean that Bill is going to be the starter, the every down back. Like the dude, he had one big season. I know this with New Mexico. I get it. It's also New Mexico, number 1. But number 2, he only caught 7 balls in his most productive college season. So regardless, Eckler is going to have a big role for sure. And even if there's an injury, let's say there's an injury to Eckler, Jeremy McNichols comes in. The guy that honestly I think, and he's the one who got the start last night, is Chris Rodriguez. The dude is a bit of a stud, man. Like I really, really liked his college tape. Really liked his college tape. Thought he should go higher than the 6th round. He was arrested pre-draft for driving under the influence. It was before his final season at Kentucky. He was arrested for driving under the influence. So maybe that influenced his draft stock, possible. But the dude has averaged 4.9 and 4.8 yards per carry over his 2 seasons. And when given an opportunity, go look at the game log. When given an opportunity, the dude has done very well when given, 10 plus carries. So I'm personally going to be drafting Chris Rodriguez, and I'm just not drafting Bill at round 10. I'm just not. If that's what you need to win, I'm not going to win. And it is what it is. There's no chance in the world that I'm going to chase him up the board. It's just not going to happen. I think he would be a quality 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th round pick right now, but I'm not drafting him even in the 12th. It's just not happening. So anyways, that's where I'm at with the whole Bill Krosky Merritt and the Washington Commanders running back situation. We'll see what happens with Brian Robinson, but that's kind of just where I'm at. I was drafting Rodriguez last year. Love him. Yeah, he's good, man. His college tape was very impressive, in my opinion. And now he might get an opportunity. And the other thing too is like, think about Cliff Kingsbury, what he's used at running back. Like, the goal line back for a Cliff Kingsbury offense has always been a lucrative position to be in. So James Conner, obviously, back in the Arizona days, right? It's always been a very lucrative position to be in. So if we're looking at like correlations, as far as like, go way back to when Cliff Kingsbury first became a head coach with the Arizona Cardinals, what did they have? James Conner and Chase Edmonds. So for me, if in the James Conner role, Chris Rodriguez. In the Chase Edmonds role, who was very good for limited time there, in the Chase Edmonds role, it's Austin Eckler. And then, yes, Bill Krosky Merritt, change of pace type of back, that's the number 2 to Chris Rodriguez. That's kind of how I see it. I could be wrong. And if I am, I'm just going to be wrong. And that's fine. Like, I'm just not drafting Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt in the 10th fucking round. It's just not happening. Or even in the 12th. So I'm going to pick off Chris Rodriguez in the 18th and kind of, keep it moving. So he caught 2 last night. So probably just an offense type thing. Maybe. What I liked about Chris Rodriguez is he was splitting out too. Like, when he was on the field first as the starter, right? Which nobody seems to want to talk about, that he was on the field first, had a 40-yard run. He was also splitting out, so that's a little bit unexpected for me. But hey, if he can do it, he can do it. It was just good to see. Is Ja'Cory Coster Merritt our generation's Alfred Morris? Might be our generation's Kamani Vidal, is kind of how I'm thinking it might look by the end of it. But we'll see. It could be Alfred Morris. And if it is, I'm gonna lose maybe. It is what it is. Like, could Chris Rodriguez be our generation's Alfred Morris? I honestly think that's more likely, personally. But drafting during exhibition games are great. Tinsley goes for 2 touchdowns and goes at 68 during a draft. Wow. I mean, it's probably a puppy. These puppy streets are insane. They are crazy right now. It is just wild, the things that you see in these puppy streets. So let's jump in one. Let's take advantage of it. Let's jump into a fast puppy. 20-second clock, jumping in right now. Get in if you want to get in. Waiting on 6. We got tons of room. Water's nice. Make sure I got my puppy 3 exposure. There we go. I've only got 4 more of these until I get to my 50. I got 50 puppy 1s, 50 puppy 2s, and 50 puppy 3s. And then I have to focus on my Best Ball Mania. I'm behind right now on my Best Ball Mania drafts. I have 47 left. I'm behind fill rate. I was right at fill rate pretty much all draft season, which is what I wanted to do. But man, I'm running out of time. Like, I got to get my shit together, get my ass in gear, and rip these Best Ball Manias. So, no, I didn't do any Pomeranians. Like, again, I'm trying to get my 50 puppies in. I would like to get some more sprints in. and then get my Best Ball Mania, max in, you know what I mean? So number one, budgeting issues, like don't have unlimited funds over here personally. So there's that. And I still have 47 Best Ball Manias, right? So there's a good chunk right there. And I'd like to get some more sprints in, which, a good chunk there as well. So we'll see. And then I know Hope Bishop on the Twitter machine, she's posting, that she's cooking stuff up, right? She's up to something season for Hope Bishop over there. But so we'll see what she drops, because if there's another poodle, I'm going to want to max enter the poodle. I love those poodles. So we'll see what else drops for the rest of this week. There's something coming tomorrow, the next day, and the next day, right? So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there's going to be tournaments drop. So we'll see what those are. But no, I didn't do any Pomeranians, and that's full now. I did max one of the other ones, the first Pomeranian, I think. I maxed that one. So yeah, now that we're at the end of draft season, I'm kind of like, I got to watch the funditures over here. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what's going on. Pick six is fun. Yeah, I like that's. Oh, wow. It takes Genty there. Honestly, 6 is great. It's great. You just take who's left. And for me, honestly, it's Christian McCaffrey. Going by my ranks, I have him 5th right now. So if I'm not going to take Justin Jefferson at 8, I'm never going to take him. So let's take Justin Jefferson. Pretty easy click there. We got the Huron River Rat in the 9 spot. Probably going to be, sniping each other over here. Don't recognize any of these other names. If you're in here, let me know. If you're in the chat and in the draft, let me know if you're in here, or just lurk away, do your thing. But so what's going on in these streets? Let's talk about it. Wow, CeeDee Lamb goes to 1. Interesting. Doesn't happen very often where Chase is the 2. I think I've got it literally once or twice where I've gotten Chase at 2, which is really fun. I've got a Jamar Chase, Jamar Chase, Bijan, then CeeDee Lamb, then Gibbs, then McCaffrey, then Barkley, then Jefferson is kind of how my rankings go. Typically, I would hate being the 8 pick because Genty doesn't typically go this high. So basically, McCaffrey and Jefferson are gone. Then it's like, do I keep adding my neighbors' shares? Do I pull up Drake London? Do I pull up Amon-Ra? Do I take my rare Nico share? You know what I mean? It's an interesting spot. And we're seeing some unique combinations down here. Like this is a little bit unique. Amon-Ra in London. I like that. Henry Brown. I like that. That's unique at least. I mean, I'm not drafting a lot of AJ Brown at all, but it's definitely unique. Get a little faller on Achane. I'm just going to scoop up the Achane value here. He's probably not going to practice this week, but that's fine. He should be fine for week 1. So I'm going to scoop up some value on Achane if he's going to fall. Palm 3 advanced structure was nice. Hope they do a few more like it. 3-12, 1-6, 1-6 finals. That is nice. That is nice. Yeah, I think the first Pomeranian was like that as well. Let's check it out. I did max the first Pomeranian. Did I? Maybe I didn't. Never mind. All right. I thought I did play the Dalmatian. This is the Dalmatian 2, right? And it's gone. I thought it was the Dalmatian 2. So, got some slows on the go. Back in slow draft hell because of these puppies. Not a place I wanted to be, but it is what it is. Where's my fast? Jeez. There it is. All right. Greg's in the 12 hole. 12 hole sup, dudes. Rarely catch the nighttime streams. Nice. Appreciate you popping in. Appreciate that. I've been gone for a couple of weeks, so you kind of got lucky with me popping in here. I got lucky streaming with you here, so appreciate you popping in. Bowers at 22. That feels nice. I'm not the biggest, Bowers drafter, as people know, but I'm right at the field more or less. I think I'm at like 7%. And that's taking him no earlier. I might have a share at pick 19, maybe, but it's typically in the 20s where I'll take Bowers. And yeah, I'm able to stay at the field with getting that little bit of a fall. So I like that. Hampton's obviously flying up, which is kind of justified. I'm all right with that. I need to add more shares, and I'm just going to try to get unique with him as far as my exposure is concerned, which should probably be unique for the tournament for the most part. I'm talking Best Ball Mania with that one, with the puppies. I don't know. I do a lot of different things. So yeah, like Jefferson Achan would be unique for me regardless, most likely, because Achan, dropping, Jefferson dropping, it'd be unique for my exposure, for my portfolio. What do we want to do here? Let's do Garrett Wilson. Even out some exposure there, I guess, and just kind of see how that goes. Gives me a quarterback option a little bit later as well. It's Hershey. Finally caught the stream. Hope you're doing well, dude. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, we're doing a lot better. The leg is a ton better. Can sit comfortably now and move around. Played golf yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So that's good. I got a big golf tournament this weekend with the boys. So we're getting closer and closer to being normal-ish until I get this surgery wrapped up, and then we'll be in a good spot. But appreciate you popping in, man. All I want to hear is that HN is go for week 1. I have a shitload of HN. Yeah, I actually don't have a crazy amount in Best Ball Mania I don't even particularly know why. I just don't. I'm trying to catch up on that. So it's actually kind of nice because I can get this slide and catch up on my shares, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, that's good. But I think he will be ready for week 1. I'm not worried about that. I'm really not worried about that at all. So I'm going to just keep scooping up shares if he's going to continue to fall. That's for damn sure. So I'll take whoever's left here. There's lots left. Lots left on the board here. Tons of good value. Cook goes. It was either Cook or Kittle. I'll take Kittle here. A little bit of a fall. You got to like that. Gives me another quarterback option as well. Chris the Candyman, what's up, man? Appreciate you popping in. Going down tomorrow, no chance. I actually got to get my shit together and do a little bit of studying, get a little bit of studying in on some of the things. Just risers, fallers. Shout out to Herzigs, fantasy football in 60 email that you get daily. That helps. But just make sure I'm on my game for tomorrow. I honestly don't care if I lose anymore. I put in a good effort. It is what it is. I couldn't lose to BBG. That's for damn sure. If I lost to Eric, I would have been pretty choked at myself, to be honest. And then, beating Justin Herzig feels pretty good. That's cool. So that's good. But if I lose, I lose. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna. It's like a Ricky Bobby situation. I'm going to fight you every fiber of my being. I came here for you to beat me. Been loving the discount on HN these past few days. No doubt, man. It's pretty wild. Like it's a little bit of a soft tissue injury. It sounds like probably a hamstring, most likely, probably just being, precautionary with that. So yeah, sit him out the week before the last preseason game. Who gives a shit? Like, I'm really not concerned with him not being in the lineup in week 1. So, yeah, like I said, I need to catch up on these Best Ball Mania drafts anyways, but there's a few guys that I want to catch up on, including HN. And if I can get him at a massive discount, then sign me up. It'll be fun. No doubt. We're going to have a good time regardless, but I'm going to keep you honest with the gentleman's time. I've been watching you. I've been watching your streams, watching your matchups. And keep an eye on you. Burrow goes naked probably. Oh no, Chase Brown drafter. Sure. That's all right. Huge fall on Breece Hall. I will draft him if he's there. Actually, I won't because I have Garrett Wilson. That's annoying. Hopefully he takes Breece Hall. I really don't want him. God. Jeez. I'm going to pull up Ricky Pearsall, even though I'd love to click Breece Hall. I just can't do it. Two pieces of the Jets offense, I just can't do it on the same team. I guess if I bring in Justin Fields, I guess I could. It just doesn't feel good. Maybe in a puppy, I should have done it. It's just a puppy. But in a Best Ball Mania, I would not. But in a puppy, yeah, sure, why not? Maybe I should have just clicked them, but that's all right. Breece Hall price is getting ridiculous. I agree with that. It's wild, but that's another guy. I'll scoop up all the shares of Breece Hall. All the shares at 57. You bet your ass. What a huge get for Jason Calhoun in the chat there. Gets Breece Hall 15 picks past ADP. God damn. Get on you. Scoop it. Get your spoons out. Yeah, no doubt, eh? I should have probably just taken him. Even with Garrett Wilson, just fuck it. Click his name. Let's do Adunze, my guy. I am just fully Adunze pilled, but it makes sense with my Pearsall and Kittle. Let's just do that. Yeah, good get, man. That's an easy click right there. Pairs Samuel, Jaden Daniels. I like that. I've been doing that all summer. Let's bring that up. What else is going on here these days? Burrow's starting to try to kind of rise back up. He's kind of staying firm at 60. Okay. So that's kind of, I don't know if anybody remembers, I was saying that exactly, months ago, that he's going to keep falling. He's going to keep falling, but it's going to hit a point. And I said, it's right here, the 5-6 turn 60. That's kind of where I thought he would level out, because you get the drafters pulling him up to 49 or whatever, right? And then you sometimes get guys getting him at 72. So it's going to even out for the most part, right? And that's exactly what's going on. And then you get the naked drafters. I'll take them sometimes if I have let's say I have Zay Flowers and Waddle or McBride, Marvin Harrison, those sorts of bringbacks, then I'll take Joe Burrow late, like down here, 68, 69, that sort of a thing. If Burrow's on the board and I've gone, McBride, Zay or McBride and Waddle, let's say something like that, then I'll take Joe Burrow. Absolutely. So I think he's going to stay there for the rest of the draft season. What else do we got? Pickens is flying up the board, which I'm perfectly fine with. I agree with that. He should be going right here, if not ahead of Adams. So, which is exactly what Mooncat did. Greg in the chat, he took Pickens ahead of Devontae Adams, which I really, really can't argue with. And ahead of T-Mac, I agree with that. Tedero and McMillan. So there you go. All right, what do we want here? Let's do running back would be prudent. So let's bring in Jalen Warren. Yeah, it would typically be Jordan Mason for me here. But I've already got Justin Jefferson, obviously, and I don't really have much interest in stacking that up. So let's just bring in Jalen Warren, who looks really good, looks cemented as the starting running back there for Pittsburgh, which I feel like we kind of already knew, and I don't mind the potential for Caleb still. My bags are kind of packed, and I'm just going to leave them there for a bit. Like, I don't really have to click Caleb Williams. I could pick off a few more shares and still be 10% roughly, which is kind of where I want to be at the end of the day. So yeah, we'll see how it kind of shakes out from there. But yeah, this is something I'm really trying to do a lot. Pearsall with Kittle, and then like Rome DJ Moore, Burden, stuff like that. Let's do Keon Coleman. I think is an absolute smash in this range. Jaden Reed's a fine click as well. A little bit of discount there. But over Jaden Higgins and Chris Godwin, it's Keon Coleman every day of the week for me. So, yeah, let's do that. I think Coleman's an absolute smash in this range right now. It's borderline Coleman over Shakir, just with all of the positive buzz we're getting out of Coleman, second-year player. I'm fully buying in on Keon Coleman right now, for better or for worse. Had Warren started up, 40-year-old A-Rod going to check down all day because he can't move. Agree with that. But also, he's just going to keep himself on the field. Everything that we've heard about Caleb as far as pass blocking and what we know about Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin as a coach and a head and a quarterback, and even Arthur Smith, right? They're just not going to tolerate any sort of miscues from a rookie running back when you have, a replacement sitting there on the bench that can get the job done. It's going to be Jaylen Warren. So, yeah, it's Jaylen Warren for me over Caleb Johnson, straight up. What's their ADP situation? It's got to be closing up. So 89.2 for Warren. And Caleb's still 76. It's falling, and they are closing up. And it's realistically only a matter of time, in my opinion, before maybe there's not enough time for Warren to flip Caleb. But for me, I'm just straight up drafting Jaylen Warren over Caleb Johnson right now, and for the rest of the draft season. So that's just not going to change. Period. End of story. Yeah, Coleman may have been the better pick. Went Shakir, tough call. It's fair. It's fair. I'm searching for. I'm banking on the upside. I'm searching for the upside with Coleman. What you're gonna get with Shakir, kind of thing. And that's another thing about some of these players that has been my thesis all draft season, and I don't think other people clearly have agreed with me because they still draft them. But the two guys I want to talk about as far as that's concerned is Brian Robinson Jr., who's still on the board. Might be an okay click here right now. This guy just takes Purdy on me, which is annoying. Pair him up with McCaffrey. Okay. That means we're just going to take Caleb here. Just pull him up. Get him with my San Francisco guys. Let's do that. So Brian Robinson Jr., we know what he is. He's shown us what he is. This is what Brian Robinson Jr. is, right? Is that really something we need to chase? I don't think so. So I'm not really drafting much of Brian Robinson Jr. We'll see if he gets traded to a better situation, which is possible. But at the end of the day, is he going to perform better? I don't know. I mean, 3 years of very, very, very similar production. He is what he is at this point. The other guy is Roschon Johnson. We know what he is at this point. He's heading into his 3rd year. Same old, definition of insanity over here. We're expecting better results. What are we doing? Just is what it is. Let it go. He's not going to be that guy. You know what I mean? So maybe I'm wrong, but I guess I'll die on that hill. I don't know. We'll see. Brian Robinson's still on the board. Is that worth a click here? Wow. I need quarterbacks, so let's bring in Drake May. Pairs up with our Garrett Wilson and Keon Coleman, which is nice. But damn. I mean, if he's still there at my next pick, 128, I might have to do just that. PPR Tyler's in the house. What's up, brother? Appreciate you popping in. Appreciate you. Why is Cody high-key the best streamer giving great actionable player takes? I don't know, man. The people are saying. What's good, man? Good to see you on screen again. Again, glad all's well with you. Let's draft a winner tonight. Let's do it. Appreciate you, man. And congrats. I saw on another stream the other day, new father over there. So congrats to you. I'm about 6 weeks away, roughly. Well, we'll see. Maybe it comes early. I don't know. But our due date's about 6 weeks away from now. So things are getting real. Things are getting real in the Woodman household. So appreciate you popping in, though. Yeah, all's well. We're better. We're getting better. It's in a good spot. The leg's in a good spot. I can sit relatively comfortably. We can draft. We can have a time. We can get those player takes out there again. Drafting tomorrow night as well after Best Ball Jeopardy. Yeah, Best Ball Jeopardy tomorrow against Chris the Candyman. We'll see how that goes. I got to get some studging in and see if I can topple that man. Yeah, 10th round Jakoski Merritt, man. That's what you need to win. I'm not going to win. That's what you need. I lose. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not drafting Ja'Cory Kroski Merritt in the 10th round. I'm not doing it. You can't make me. You can't make me do it. Let's talk about guys we're focused on for the rest of the draft season. Coleman's one of them. Hampton, definitely want to chase him up a little bit. Josh Jacobs is absolutely a focus for me. Achan in this economy at those prices. Chase Brown, definitely a guy I want to focus on getting those shares up on. And oddly, Josh Allen, maybe a little bit of Lamar Jackson, but Josh Allen for sure. What else do we got? And this stack that I have here, I was hoping to get Purdy with Pearsall and Kittle. That's a stack that I'm really focused on for the rest of the draft season. I'm not so sure how I feel about Keenan Allen way up here either. That's kind of relevant. I mean, it's new since the last time I was streaming. Jesus. I'll take Brian Robinson. He didn't die, did he? Did he get shot again? That I don't know about? That's crazy. Lee Robinson for me. I let you get all the CLV, man. You already got Breece Hall. You're not getting another one. Breece Hall 15 picks past ADP, and he wants Brian Robinson 30, 40 picks, 40 something picks. Literally 40, pretty much exactly picks past ADP. Come on, Jason Calhoun. Share the wealth, man. Share the wealth. B-Rob to the Cowboys. I mean, yeah, it would be an upgrade on what they have. So I agree with that. There's a lot of different places, but again, I just don't see a reason for anyone to trade for him. And will they? I mean, they probably would send him to the Cowboys for anything, but I mean, the Cowboys famously traded a 4th fucking round pick for Jonathan Mingo, for Christ's sake. So you never know what old busted Jerry Jones is going to do. This pick probably would be Pop Douglas went already, hey? If Pop Douglas went already, then let's bring in Kyle Williams, pair up with our Drake May. I would have taken, for me, it's Pop Douglas over Kyle Williams right now, but I still love my guy, Kyle Williams. That's for sure. Doing a lot of double stacking with Pop and Kyle Williams with Drake May as well. I do like that. I'm still not really drafting Stephon Diggs personally. So I have a low ownership on the second tier quarterbacks. I have low ownership on second tier quarterbacks, Mahomes, Baker, Fields, etc., etc. And just like all the other wide receiver, running back in the range more. Should I up the exposures, or is this good process? I mean, we're pretty late in the season to just like change the whole draft strategy that you've had all summer. So, I mean, I'm overweight on the quarterbacks in this range, like Baker, especially Baker. I have a ton of Baker. And then like Justin Fields, Drake May, all these types of guys, Prescott. I'm kind of overexposed to almost all of these quarterbacks in this range, except for Brock Purdy, which is something I need to catch up on. So it's not necessarily like something that you want to look at changing for the most part. I mean, and it depends on your stacks. Like, what games are you focused on? I'm hella focused on the Tampa Bay Miami game. I'm stacking the fuck out of that game. Right? I knew this whole time I've been saying Miami's defense is going to be one of the worst defenses in the NFL. I've been telling you that all summer. I've been telling you that since February. Right? So that's been a huge focus game for me. So I have a ton of Baker Mayfield. And then Justin Fields has a very good playoff schedule as well. And he doesn't need to be a good real life quarterback to pay off in fantasy. So, I mean, if you have a lot of tournaments or shares left, then I would start. I'm not necessarily saying Mahomes, that's for sure. Don't like the playoff schedule. Don't necessarily like the offense enough anymore, right? But Baker and Fields for me, Prescott's a guy that I like a lot. Caleb, probably my highest drafted quarterback. Drake May is up there for me. I like Brock Purdy a ton. So the quarterbacks in this range make a lot of sense. Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, all make a lot of sense. But it just kind of depends on how you're drafting up here too, right? So, let those first 6 rounds realistically dictate how you're going to finish out your draft, essentially. I guess we could just take Hunter Henry here. I think that makes a lot of sense when my bringbacks are both wide receivers. Let's do that. I think I can just stop at 2 as well. No, I got 2 week 14s. That's annoying, but that's okay. That's got to be a little bit unique. Yeah, we'll figure it out from there. So yeah, I did a whole show and a bunch of kind of digging into numbers wise, the first 6 picks in your draft and then the first 10 picks in your draft. So let the first 6 dictate how you finish out your first 10. And then after your 10th round pick, essentially, you should know what your structure is going to be. Is it 2-6-8-2? Is it a 3-5-7-3? Whatever, 2-5-9-3, whatever. You should know by round 10 what your structure is going to be. So, plan it out, right? That's all I could say. Like if you're taking Achane and Evans or something like that, might want to look at some more Baker shares, right? If you're taking Trevion Henderson with your Garrett Wilson, bring in a Fields, stack. So stuff like that. I mean, kind of just believe in your offenses. Like I think it's too late in the summer. It's too late in the draft cycle to just like try to wholesale change your whole strategy. So I'm not telling you to change your strategy. I just think like, again, just let it come to you is what I would say. Mika, are we talking about Micah Parsons? That can't be real. That'll never, ever happen. Never, ever in any world would Micah Parsons get traded to the Commanders. Never, ever. Not never. I'm going to go. Let's go with Sean White. Should be back. Should be fine. Let's go with Sean White. By the way, I locked you in on my fantasy best ball team. Let's ride. Nice. Appreciate that. I'm the low owned leverage piece you're going to need, man. Telling you. 7,200, I think is what I am. 72, 73, something like that. I'm the low owned leverage piece you're going to need. Appreciate you, though. That's awesome. I didn't know I was in anybody's lineup. So there, I'm in mine. I'm in my own, obviously. And then if I'm in yours, appreciate that, man. Pretty high in the top 5 quarterbacks. That's why I have lower of that tier. That's fine. That's actually fine. Like that's kind of something that I need to not necessarily like. It's not a wholesale change, but just kind of level out. That's what I was saying, Josh Allen. and a little bit of Lamar are kind of my, and then maybe Daniels. I'm not huge on Hurts, but I do have a ton of Burrow, and I'll keep picking off Burrow. But realistically, as far as Best Ball Mania is concerned, like, yeah, those top 3 are really the ones that I need to catch up on a little bit. So yeah, I get that. That's if that's your strategy, then that's a fine strategy. And like I said, I wouldn't just wholesale change your strategy at this point, right? That's for sure. It just doesn't make sense to make that kind of a change with like 2 weeks of drafting left, right? But I mean, if you can level it out, if you have like 6-7% of some of those other quarterbacks, then that's leveling it out, right? If you're at like 2%, then maybe it doesn't make a crazy amount of sense, again, unless it falls to you and just does make complete sense and you can't not click these guys. You know what I'm saying? Looking like it's gonna be, I don't know if I can get away with 5 running backs here. It's going to be a 2-6-7-3. That's what we're going to have. 2-6-7-3. Jalen McMillan today, sprained neck, sounds like that is not good. Likely to miss 10 weeks, probably something like that. He's completely off my draft board personally. I have a good chunk of Jalen McMillan. He was supposed to start the year as a starter, so that really hurts. But he's just off my board now. I have some shares, so maybe if he falls to like the 18th round, but even then, like missing probably 10 weeks is a real killer. So, man, Trey Harris looks pretty good, but Isaiah Likely just fits this team like a glove. So let's bring in Isaiah Likely. Then we're done at tight end. But man, Trey Harris still on the board. I'll take him there. We only need 1 more wide receiver, 2 more running backs. So we'll see what falls to us here. I usually know by round 6 or 7 on my build, then go and get my guys. Not the sooner you know, the better, right? Like the sooner you can say this is going to be my structure, the better. So Putt Daddy, I know you like to stop at 2 quarterbacks most of the time, 2 tight ends probably most of the time as well. That makes it a lot easier. You're probably drafting a lot of elite tight end, elite quarterback, right? So makes it a lot easier to say, if I draft Josh Allen, I'm stopping at 2 quarterbacks no matter what, right? So right there, you're starting at 2 quarterbacks within, in the first 3 rounds, you're only going to have 2 quarterbacks for sure, right? So that opens up the possibilities right there. And again, that's another reason that I like to draft those quarterbacks as well. And the early tight ends, because I'm not taking more than 2 tight ends when I'm taking Bowers or McBride. It's just not happening. Takes Chris Rodriguez on me. I don't think I was going to take him here with the Brian Robinson Jr. Share that I have. Let's bring in Rico Dowdle. I think makes tons of sense. Because, just in case, Brian Robinson's not off this team yet. If he stays, I don't want both Brian Robinson Jr. and Chris Rodriguez, that's for sure, on the same team. So I wasn't going to take him on this team most likely, but great click, I think. That's a great click in my opinion. You are correct, sir. Yeah, I know how you draft. I draft, we draft pretty similarly. So there you go. That's something I like to do as well. All right. 2-5-6-3. We're going to finish at a 2-6-7-3. So we got 1 more and 1 more. A couple late round clicks that I like. Let's talk about that, actually. So late round clicks at running back that I like. Don't mind Shipley down here. I like Ollie Gordon at this point. Taj Brooks, yeah. Giddens is always my guy down here. Huge Giddens guy. I want to get a little more Blake Corum in my life, as in I have basically none. So Blake Corum's the guy that I want to click a little bit here and there as we go. Might be a good fit on this team, actually. Probably is. I'm softening on Brashard Smith because my bags are fully packed. I still believe in it, but I want to see him make the team first and kind of take it from there. Marshawn Lloyd's not only softening, he's off my board now. The dude just cannot stay healthy. He just cannot. He's shown us that he just can't stay healthy, and it is what it is. Off my board. I'm not drafting Marshawn Lloyd anymore. Damian Pierce, worth a click. Jarquez is still on the board. Kendre. Emmanuel Wilson should be on your board. That's about it for me. That's it for me down here. But tons of clicks. Tons of clicks you can go with as far as running backs are concerned. Wide receivers, we got a ton. For me, it's Adonai Mitchell over Alec Pierce. As I said earlier, Jalen Coker's still on the board. Alec Iomanor's a guy I'm focused on getting a little bit more. Jalen Noel's still fine. Jack Bech still fine. Yoshi Voss, I think, is a great click. Wide receiver 3 on that team. I think Troy Franklin is a great click. There's tons of wide receivers. So let's do Blake Corum. Let's get a share. I think it makes a lot of sense on this team too. Giddens would be a great click always. And that's a big reason why I don't take Blake Corum, because Giddens is just the guy down here. But it's Corum, I think, over any of these other guys, probably. So wide receivers, yeah, Franklin's a good click. Trey Tucker is fine. Ray-Ray McLeod's a good click. Roman Wilson had a couple big plays the other day. He looks like he could be the wide receiver 2. Loved him last year. Loved his college tape, and then just didn't play, injuries, obviously. But Roman Wilson is the new Calvin Austin, essentially. So I'm not really focused on Calvin Austin at all. I know people like Malik Washington, but I'm not nearly as sold. I think like his ceiling is super capped is really what it is. He should have a better year than last year. But what does that mean? Like 69, 70, 60 to 70, I should say, fantasy points. Like I just don't think he's going to crack our lineup very much. It's kind of always Turpin time. Definitely into Turpin. Olamide Zaccheaus looks like an okay click. Shout out to CBK, Certified Ball Knower on Twitter. Butte could be an okay click. Let's do, I think Ray makes the most sense on this team. Yeah. Even out some shares as well. Let's get Ray-Ray McLeod on this one. Zaccheaus maybe with Odunze, with the stack, but I just don't think it makes sense. Yeah, there's some other guys down here. Sure. Parker Washington is definitely on my board again. Elijah Moore is kind of off my board now, even though he was a guy I was focused on. And he just hasn't gotten there over training camp. He just hasn't shown up enough. He did flashed early, and I thought there was a ton of room for him to kind of move into a potentially starting role on this team. And it just hasn't materialized. So it is what it is with Elijah Moore. He's kind of off my board for right this second. Yeah. Parker Washington's definitely a guy I think we need to think about clicking a lot more. I'm clicking a lot more. So I think that's something that people should really think about. He's been getting positive buzz literally since OTAs. So if the new coaching staff loves him, quarterback likes him, we know that. The dude can play. He's been getting better every year. Like, what's not to like? He just needs a little bit more, 89, fantasy points. So a guy like Malik Washington, if you like a guy like Malik Washington, why would you not like a guy like Parker Washington? I don't know. Could be wrong on that, but either way, those are some late round clicks right now that I'm kind of focused on and trying to make sure I get enough of, even out some exposures, stuff like that. So we'll talk about a few teams here, and then we'll get out of here. I don't want to push the leg early, so I'm going to go through my team. I'm going to go through the Huron River Rat, Jason Calhoun's team, and we'll go over the 12 spot Mooncat, Greg in the chat. We'll go over those 3 teams, and then we'll get out of here for the night. Like I said, just don't want to push it tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night after Best Ball Jeopardy. So we're going to be getting our streams in before the end of the season here. So finish with a 2-6-7-3. Caleb Williams and Drake May. You could definitely say this is a little bit soft or a little bit light, but I'm just going to lean in on those 2. What rounds did I take them? Like 9 and 10. Yeah, rounds 9 and 10. I'm just going to lean in on those 2 and say that that's going to be good enough and stop at 2, especially in puppies. even in a best ball mania, it doesn't feel super comfortable, and I'm not doing it a crazy amount, but I probably would stop at those two. Devon Achane, Jalen Warren, Brian Robinson Jr. at a ridiculous 40-pick discount. Rashad White, Rico Dowdle, and Blake Corum. I like the texture. Hero running back, obviously, with Achane. And Achane's not necessarily the running back I would like to do a hero build with, but it is what it is. So we'll take that. I like Warren to play a bunch. We'll see what happens with Brian Robinson Jr. Rashad White's he's going to show up in my lineup sometimes. Same with Rico Dowdle and potentially Blake Corum. So I like that. Makes a lot of sense. Justin Jefferson, Garrett Wilson, Ricky Pearsall, Rome Odunze, Keon Coleman, Kyle Williams, Raybury McLeod. I like that. I think it's good enough to get me there. I've got some bringbacks to my quarterback, stack with my quarterback, another stack with the other quarterback. I dig it. It's all correlated enough. I like it. George Kittle, Henry, and Isaiah Likely. That works for me. Again, some correlation. So I have some correlation throughout the whole playoff schedule, which is nice to see. Doubled up a couple times, which is perfectly fine. Give me a couple different options. And that's more than enough firepower to kind of get me there. So, yeah, I like the team. Let's go to Jason Calhoun, the Huron River Rat. We got Jane Daniels and Sam Darnold. Don't hate it, man. Like Sam Darnold, everyone loves to hate Sam Darnold, but the dude can play. Like he looked really good in that quick little, preseason appearance. He looked really good. And the Kubiak offense, like that's just really, really a good offense for him to excel in. I like Sam Darnold. I want to actually pick off some shares in Best Ball Mania of Sam Darnold. Not a crazy amount, maybe get to like 4% or something, but I do want some exposure to Sam Darnold in that offense against Carolina, Rams, Indy. It's a good playoff schedule. So that's a guy that I'm not necessarily like honed in on, but I do want to get a few shares. So I like this. I'm actually happy with that. If you're taking Jane Daniels, you have to say that he's the same or similar to, Lamar Jackson at least. And then Darnold can be fine in that type of a build, right? So I'm okay with that. James Cook, Breece Hall at a massive discount. Trey Benson, Jaden Blue, Tajay Spears at another discount, which I like to pick them off there as well. Great clicks. And Chris Rodriguez, I love this room. Big fan of this running back room. A lot. Got some massive discounts on Breece Hall and Tajay Spears. Pulled up Jaden Blue, pulled up Benson, so it kind of evens out a little bit. Pulled up Chris Rodriguez. Evens out a little bit, but I really like this running back room. I like it a lot. Nico Collins, Brian Thomas, Deebo Samuel, Khalil Shakir, Luther Burden, Dante Thornton, Adonai Mitchell, Alec Iomanor, Sam Laporta, Colston Loveland. Damn, this is a sick team, man. Well done. 2682, Jason Calhoun. I like this team a lot. Not a crazy amount of correlation would be the only like knock against it, but like it might just not matter, like if you have all the pieces, like this is a really, really good team. I like this team more than mine, I'll tell you that much. It's a really good team. Well done. Mooncat, we got Greg in the chat. 3663, the old Best Ball Mania winner last year. Dak Prescott, Justin Fields, Bryce Young. Don't mind that. I'm okay to, again, stop at Dak and Justin Fields, but I don't mind it, especially if we have some correlation. James Conner, Tony Pollard, Tyrone Tracy, Jordan Mason, Kyle Monagai, and Kendre Miller. I like it. I'm not a James Conner drafter at all, but that's fine. Doesn't mean I'm right. I like everyone else. I like the build. That works. Monroe, Drake London, Mike Evans, Pickens, Pop, Douglas, and Wan'Dale Robinson. I like it, but I'm never comfortable stopping at 6 wide receivers personally. Never. But I do like Drake London a crazy amount. I really like Amon-Ra, and Pickens is great. Pop Douglas is great. Wandale can show up in your lineup. Evans has to stay healthy. That's the big kind of knock against this is Mike Evans has to stay healthy on this team. Jake Ferguson, Mason Taylor, and Mike Gesicki. A lot of correlation. I like the correlation. It's an interesting team. I don't not like it. I don't not like it. It's not something I would build. But I don't know what you'd have done, could have done different or should have done different. I guess like a quarterback here and then added in another wide receiver. But you do have some correlation with Kendra and Mike Evans. So I kind of get that. But no pass catcher for the Carolina side. I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it. It's just different. It's different. I'll say that. Emo Cowboys in the house. What's up, man? Appreciate you popping in quick. We're about to wrap up here, but I appreciate you coming in, leaving a comment there. Good draft. Glad you're feeling better. See you next time. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, we're getting there. We'll be back tomorrow night after Best Ball Jeopardy. We'll be back for a quick another draft. So come back next time. Come back tomorrow. We'll rip another, and then we'll be back Monday. We'll be back drafting for the rest of the season here. Yeah, tough room playing for second. Man, after Jason's team, we're all playing for second. So fingers crossed someone could advance. The third quarterback took me off the rails. We wanted Jatavian backstack. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That could have made a little more sense instead of Gesicki, obviously, but that's all right. That's all right. It is what it is. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here for the night. Typically, we do another draft, but I don't want to push the old getaway stick over here. So we'll be, like I said, we'll be back tomorrow night. We got Best Ball Jeopardy at, I think, 7:30 my time. So it's 9:30 Eastern for Best Ball Jeopardy, me versus Candyman. And then after that, we'll come back, rip another, hour long, just one draft sort of a thing over here. And then we'll be back next week after that to close out hot Best Ball summer. Like I always say on Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight we're right and we rip the puppy 3. Have yourselves a great night. We'll see you tomorrow night.